We're going to lay Jim in his little more reclined sleeping position to get our nighttime. Only has AFib at night, so we'd like to make sure we have him all the way back on his back, because that's usually not that people stay there, but that's where gravity takes its toll, with the tongue being an awkward spot. And we have affected most of our change with just the lower appliance, which is pretty neat. So we'll get Jim back a little bit and try not to hit the eject button.
See you later.
Tell us when it's about where you are when you're...
That's about it.
Okay. So the autonomic nervous system is charged with automatically adjusting the blood pressure and pulse into the different positions that we get ourselves into, from laying to tossing and turning to sitting, partially to sitting all the way up. Keeps you from passing out when you get out of a chair. So when things are changing, the pulses and the blood pressure usually are ways that we can monitor how the autonomic nervous system is functioning, because it's adjusting for the change. And so I just laid him back. Let's just see what that old autonomic nervous system is doing under the new circumstances. Evenly caused. Oh, beans. 118/76.
Okay. I'm weird, I know that.
All right, so if we sit you up and get that low, then we got you balanced out.
Okay.
Well, I'd rather just keep you laying, because that way I can quit. Why don't you just go in here and take it easy. His pulse is down, it's 53. I'd like to see that up in time. We'll hopefully get that up a little bit. The oxygen's 96, I'll take that. But biggest thing is, we feel like that at night the AFib occurs because things get blocked. The better we have him tuned up, the better. The AFib situations get, instead of 8 hours, it's down to an hour or less, and not a whole lot of disturbance like it was in the beginning. That's
Like when I first started it, they were like 12 hours.
yeah.
The
So
longest
we've gone,
one I've had is 3.
right, and we're just about finished all of his reconstruction. So he had some extraction in there, surgery, and when they're full of adrenaline, the blood doesn't get out to the bone. You start having dry sockets and cavitations and things like that. So bottom line is, if you start, you can keep the body in that sweet spot during the work, and then you want to maintain it instead of the blood pressure going out of sight and him in the emergency room. Before I was exposed to this, there was times when I'd work on a patient, and next time they came back, say, I had to go to the emergency room the next day. I had some kind of heart issue. Well, I never connected the dots until after I started working with this, that we were changing the contours and the occlusion. It wasn't usually the bite as much as the contours. Starting to get a little better definition of the diacritic notch. So 118 over 76, let's do it again, just to make sure, and then we'll sit him up. And if it's 118 over 76, we'll put some wax on it and watch him. We've already called the rescue squad and they're outside.
This is the rescue squad.
So Jim reports to his doctor with a log of the blood pressure consistently staying down and him being responsible to take it at the same time. He's much more likely to go along with modifications of his pharmaceutical protocol because Jim's working with him and not against him.
He's impressed too.
Good, yeah. So
my cardiologist is too.
Well, up until this came around, these poor guys didn't have another thing except the CPAP during the night. But now they've got something 24 hours a day we can affect the autonomic nervous system. We ought to be working with cardiologists all the time. Working with cardiologists all the time. will make their life a lot better, easier, more fun, and actually be able to take some of these patients that are literally dying before their very eyes and be able to help them.
You know what was interesting? Both my doctor and the cardiologist understood the oxygen principle.
Right.
But they didn't know how to get it to me.
Sure, you got to be a dentist to do that. That's why dentists have a tremendous part to play in this. It's the whole new paradigm shift. Well, shoot.
What is it? I do feel calmer inside. By
Well,
the way.
good. Stay that way. We'll check it again. I want to look at your appliance.
What is it?
I can't tell you.
Really, it's bad.
You take it down. Well, could you send another videographer up here? Yeah, this one that I'm working with is mine is on other things. Thank you. I'm on a party line, so don't. It's just 2 rings, okay? All right. So this is Jim's Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's we want to keep the tooth, and I think we can work around. He's lost his front teeth when we were making the appliance. He's got natural front teeth, but what he's got is a problem with that back. That back. This is level, and then it comes over and hits that back end of it. So you'd think we would be able to get that thing reduced, but when we do, the blood pressure goes up. So we're experimenting before your eyes so that you can see. Sometimes what looks bad is supporting the system better for right now. So anyway, what I've been doing is trying to get him over this with his appliance adjustments.